Hello and welcome. Formation of slave patrols. Slave patrols first began in South Carolina in 1704 and spread throughout the 13 colonies, lasting well beyond the American Revolution. As the population of black slaves boomed, especially with the invention of the cotton gin, so did the fear of slave resistance and uprisings. The development of slave patrols began when other means of slave control failed to instill slave control and obedience. Their biggest concern were slaves on the plantations, since that is where slave populations were highest. At first, incentives such as tobacco and money were offered to urge whites to become more vigilant in the capture of runaway slaves. When this approach failed, slave patrols were formally established. Laws were put into place to regulate the activities of both blacks and whites. Slaves who were encountered without passes were expected to be returned to their owners, as stated in the slave code. Punishment for runaway slaves could be expected. Black persons were subjected to questioning, searches, and other forms of harassment. Oftentimes, whippings and beatings for non-compliant and even compliant slaves could be expected. More than floggings and beatings, however, slaves feared the threat of being placed on auction block and being separated from their families. If caught by patrols and returned